So, we are continuing with our theme, Fertilizing Our Future. I promise to find as many references to fertilizer and compost and poop this month as I can. So that reading was perfect, right? No. So today, across the world, millions of Christians are celebrating Easter, as well as culturally with the Easter bunny and eggs. And last week, the Jewish community celebrated Passover, and often these holidays coincide, yes. And then we also had the spring equinox, which earth lovers and pagans honor to notice the cycles in nature as too in our life. And this Tuesday is Earth Day. So, we're going to tie those all together in a beautiful bow. Sound good? Maybe I'll have something that you can take home to your young ones, Mitch, and help explain it all a bit. No. So, the name of this holiday, Easter, is likely originating from the Old English of the goddess Eostre, the Anglo-Saxon paganism, right? And the tradition of bunnies representing spring and fertility and new life and rebirth. And then the celebration of Easter and the story of Jesus' resurrection also has that theme of rising above, of transcending an old way, an old form. Much like the caterpillar goes into its chrysalis and becomes that goo, but from that goo, which represents and looks nothing like its previous form, there lives imaginal cells. And in those imaginal cells hold the potential for the butterfly to emerge. So it literally changes form from one thing to another. So these stories are represented in our faith traditions, in mystical wisdom, in earth, in nature, and in our culture, because these themes resonate with our life. We make mistakes, we fall down, we have struggles, we experience loss, and in each moment, we have an opportunity to begin again, to choose a new thought, to shift our perspective, to integrate our full experiences into who we are now, and then create who we are to be, to resurrect from our old stories into our true nature. And Tuesday is the 55th anniversary of the official Earth Day holiday. So that's a time to reflect on not only the beauty of our planet, but how it is our shared home. And to remember it is our sacred responsibility to care for it. So we know that Earth isn't this thing. It is something we are in relationship with. Like it's not this thing separate from us, I should say. Because we are one, we are the earth. We are the soil, we are the rivers, we are the air, we are the fire. We are the universe, we are the stars. It all lives within us. And when we engage in sustainable practices, planting trees, reducing our waste, recycling, these actions that we can take, we're not just helping our planet, but it's a way of honoring that relationship with respect, that interconnection with all of life. So whenever we have an opportunity to interact with nature, putting our hands in the soil, laying in the sun, whatever it may be. I love bird watching, right? Or just playing with the little critters in the grass and noticing how they move. So all of these moments invite us inward to tend to our inner soul, to nourish our soul, and remember that interconnection and relationship with all of life. So the story of Easter, resurrection, it's not just about one man rising from a tomb 2,000 plus years ago. The story is in all of us and for all of us, similar to that mythical hero or Shiro's journey. It's about the reminder that we all have the opportunity to raise from the lack and the limitation, the limiting beliefs and the fear. Easter is like life whispering, you are not stuck, you are not broken, you are not finished. You are being renewed, resurrected. And what I know is that resurrection isn't just this one-time event, right? It's not like we live life similarly to just be awakened or enlightened as a one-time thing. It's a daily practice to come back to that truth of who we are. And the more we die daily to those old beliefs and habits and patterns that keep us stuck in a certain construct, the more that we can die to those old habits and rise up and let something new be birthed, then we can resurrect our true self, our eternal spiritual identity that cannot be confined by conditions or circumstances or the illusion of separation. So just like Earth Day, it's not about doing something big all at once, right? Earth Day is one day, but we don't save the planet in one day, right? It reminds us of our daily habits that we can do to honor Mother Nature. And we've been talking the past couple of weeks as well about cultivating good habits and this idea of small steps, right? You've maybe heard this concept of changing that like 1% change over time, and then another 1% change. And after a while, we become a completely new being. So those small, consistent actions of our spiritual practices, our thoughts of love, our words of hope, the moments of mindfulness, they all stack up like habit stacking and begin to look back at your life and like, wow, if you take that moment to reflect, you can see how much you've transformed and how much you have risen above a past iteration of yourself that you thought maybe was your limit, right? That you thought, well, that was it, the pinnacle, the peak, that was who I am. And the more we grow, the more we learn, we have a lot more to learn and to grow. Or is that just me? So we can see that every burden, every challenge, every stone that blocks our path is not permanent. The pain, the grief, right, that is real. We can honor that, but it's not forever. And even the heaviest stones can be moved. So there's a story about a man who lived in a cave. And one day he woke up to a great stone blocking the entrance and exit of his cave. He could not leave the cave, so he then immediately prayed, God, deliver me. And then he heard the voice of God say, push the stone. So he pushed the stone, nothing happened. Day after day, he pushed the stone, he pushed the stone. Weeks became months. He pushed the stone, he pushed the stone. The stone didn't budge. Finally, he cried out again, desperate, why, God, why aren't you helping me? And he heard that voice of spirit. Look at your arms, it said. Look at your legs. You have grown stronger. Your strength is the miracle. Now I will roll away the stone. We've all been pushing, right? We've been through grief, we've been through uncertainty, we've experienced an ever-changing world. More than most generations have seen this type of change. You know, the technology growth is just exponential. We've all had personal experiences of life that have shaped us and helped us grow more resilient and to know our own strength. It may feel like in those moments that nothing is happening, but I invite you to see yourself as God sees you. To take that perspective away from perhaps the closeness and the gritty details of whatever struggle you may be in, or the grittiness of the news in our world today, and to step away a little bit and to take that moment of reflection and to see how you have been transformed, perhaps more strength and resilience, more love, more compassion. Perhaps things are calling you to learn more about yourself and the way the world works. You are building strength and endurance and that muscle of faith. The stone that was once a barrier to your next evolution or becoming now becomes a witness to your personal power and strength, right? It's like you live to tell the tale. And Michael Beckwith, the founder of Agape Spiritual Center in Los Angeles, he says you can be pulled by vision or pushed by your pain, right? And Ernest Holmes, the great founder of the Science of Mind, says it is through our deepest pain that we find our deepest growth. So the cultural metaphysical understanding of the story of Easter and represented in Christianity, Jesus experienced what we as humans from our understanding view as the ultimate pain and suffering and ending through death. And the story tells us that was not the end. Where in your life, or maybe you're there right now, have you experienced something that brought you to your knees in such a way that you thought, this is it? And on the other side, you have risen. And if you're in that place right now, we are here to hold you, to support you, to remind you of the regenerative power of spirit within you to rise again. And together we have the power to create the change we desire in our collective experience, because it is up to us. It is up to us to build our strength, do our daily practices, and to rise up and to speak our voice, our authentic love, sing our song, share of ourselves and our light and our talent with this world in such a way that we are unburdened and unhindered by the fear of our previous self that maybe experienced lack or doubt, but to stand resurrected in the full nature of who you are here to be. So what stone is Spirit inviting you to roll away this day? What idea is ready to be released? What belief about yourself is no longer serving you? What tomb or cave of beliefs have you been sleeping in? Because the truth is, you are the light. So let's let this Earth Day be a reminder to widen our circle of care, not just to our own personal growth and community and collective love and care, but for our planet. And let's have this Easter be a reminder that we are not separate. We are one. We are divine manifestation of life itself. And we are here to express it, to bring it, this life, into form. So let's let this day be the day that we commit to rise up in our fullness, in our strength, in our power, and to honor Mother Earth for providing this grounding foundation, this planet, for us to play on and to explore and to grow and to know ourselves more. And remember, this time of spring, that life is always quietly growing beneath the surface, even in the harshness of winter when we can't see it. When something seems to be blocking it, that stone too heavy, that ice and snow too cold, the soil too barren. But we are asking not to resist this heaviness, but to tend to the ground of your own being, to push against the stone, not to move it with force, but slowly to be shaped by the faith that it takes to push the stone. And remember that resurrection isn't just a moment, it is a movement. We are seeing a lot of collective movements going on in our world right now, in our different culture and society across the world. People are standing up and rising up and coming together in various movements of energy, arising from what was into what is yet to be. And in each breath, we have the opportunity to begin again, to make a new choice, to plant a new seed, and to cultivate that with loving care and growth. Because you are not your past. You are your presence, and the very presence of the living Spirit, the great I am. Roll away the stone. Rise into the love that you are. Drink from the living waters. Tend the soil. Nurture your soul. And live as if you are being made anew in each moment. Because that is what's happening. This is your time. This is your time to rise and to let that stone be the silent witness to your story. And your life be the gift and the blessing to the world. Are you up for it? Let's hear that a little bit more enthusiastically. Are you up for it? Yes. And so it is. All right, let's pray. So grateful to know right here, right now, this presence, this I am, the love, the joy, the peace, the freedom of life itself is living and moving and having its way as me, as each and every being. So right here, right now, from this place of oneness, I claim love and wholeness revealed. I know that there is an infinite potential living within each of us. That there is this love that is guiding the way. So in this moment, I declare the wholeness and love of our personal power is rising up this day. And I know that the highest and best outcome for our community, for our country, for our world, for our planet is being revealed right here, right now, through each of us as we listen to that divine guidance for what is ours to do, who are we here to be, what are we becoming, and what are we here to give and to share and to express. So I'm so grateful to know that this is always being revealed in, as, and through all of life. So this day I know that we choose to listen, to be, and to become. So grateful for the fulfillment of this word. I release it into the action of the law that always says yes. And together we say, and so it is. Yes. Let's bring back Mitch for some more music.